أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وبه نستعين إنه خير ناصر ومعين رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. Assalamu alaikum everybody. Welcome to the holy month of Ramadan. Today is the first day of Ramadan and inshallah we are going to have 30 days lectures every day 10 to 15 minutes, short lectures about the Islamic lifestyle and Islamic medicine. Briefly, I want to explain what is Islamic medicine and what is Islamic lifestyle. And as we go, inshallah, we will use the ahadith, authentic ahadith, which is quoted in different Shia and Sunni books. And my reference would be the book called Medical Ahadith by Marhum al-Shahri, who has recently passed away. They are beautiful ahadith of Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam that we need to know what they have talked about lifestyle. As you know, we have around 13,000 ahadith about the lifestyle. Well, what is the importance of knowing the lifestyle? As the Holy Prophet ﷺ says that, إِنِّي تَارَكُمْ فِيكُمُ الثَّقَلَيْنِ كَتَابَ اللَّهِ وَعِثْرَتِي. We know about the Quran, and we know about the history of Islam, and we know about the ahkam and akhlaqiyat. But what does it mean? I'm leaving you a treasure, and that treasure will be Ahlul Bayt. What about that? As you know, everyone in your life, from the teenage age that they're getting to the young ages, they were looking for role models in their life. Muslim, non-Muslims, in every sect, in every religion, they will have their own examples in the life, and they have their own role models in the life that they will follow whatever they do. So the Holy Quran says that follow the path of the prophets, and the Holy Prophet says that the continuation of this path will be the Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam. So how are we supposed to follow their path without knowing the lifestyle? In another word, let's say if Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam, they're supposed to live in this year 2022 in this situation, in your country, in my country, in a house just in your vicinity, if we want to look at them closely, how would be their life? What kind of food they would eat? What kind of clothes they will wear? What kind of perfume they will use? These are all the things which is coming under the package of Islamic lifestyle. Islamic lifestyle covers everything, every single moment of our life, every single action in our life. We have been given details. Not that, do this, don't do that, and we are tied to things. No. These are all the recommendations by Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam for healthy lifestyle. And a healthy lifestyle will have a healthy family, and a healthy family will end into a healthy society. So for the beginning of that, we need to know what kind of lifestyle are the Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam talking about. As you know, every single thing, let's say from the time that you can cut your nails, from the time that you can cut your hair, and the way you eat it with the right hand, left hand, sitting, standing, and what type of food do you have? There are lots of questions in our daily life that we need Islamic teachings to give us answer. And because we have not heard, we think that maybe it's just okay, maybe there's nothing quoted from the Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam, while there are 13,000 ahadith talking about these things and telling us every single thing in our lifestyle. So we don't want to make the life difficult, but we want to make it more Islamic. And because we know that the Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam, they're giving us recommendations, which is good for us, not only for our akhirah, but only for our dunya as well. And that is where Islamic medicine comes as well. So in a short sentence, if I want to describe the Islamic lifestyle, is that we basically want to discuss about the simple things in our lifestyle. The shoes, the type of clothes, that is one side of the Islamic lifestyle. The foods that we can have. Let's say, if you're having a habit of eating iftar now, maybe it might be the time that you're watching this is iftar time now. Would the Ahlul Bayt sit on the floor or do you sit on the table? Simple. It's a simple question. Well, when you look at the ahadith, there's a beautiful hadith quoted from Lady Zahra salamu alayha. She says that it's best to sit on the floor, leaning on your left thigh or your left leg. And then she said 13 points and advice of the sufra or table, which is beautiful and useful and excellent. For example, she says when you sit, there are some of them we have heard, some we have not heard. For example, saying starting your food with Bismillah, which is blessing, and give us barakah to the food. There are lots of benefits for that. That is one thing. Secondly, for example, Imam al-Qadhim alayhi salam, he says that before you start eating, wash your hands. Yes, in the Western medicine, everywhere we know that washing the hands is okay. But what is so important about that? Imam al-Qadhim alayhi salam says that wash your hands before eating, and then wipe your eyes and wipe your face with that wet hands, as that will give us ABCD. It will give us blessing in the day, it will give us increase the risk, and it will give lots of other things. That is a proper way. Secondly, I've said let's say sit on the floor, that is another way. And some might not be easy. Let's say you will say that, okay, I have a knee pain, so I have to sit on the floor, I have to sit on the chair, that is okay. But then she says that it's best to start your food with salt. That's the respectful ritual of the sufra. Or Imam Ali alayhi salam says to Imam al-Hasan alayhi salam, in his will, in the brackets, hadith says that fil wasiyah means that in the last will, when somebody is passing away, they would say the most important things that they haven't mentioned in their life to the people around them. So Imam Ali alayhi salam, his will to Imam al-Hasan alayhi salam, says this beautiful hadith. Says that, oh Hassan, do you want me to tell you something? That if you follow that, you will be independent from doctors or from medications. Another way, if you follow these tips, you won't be sick and you will be safe. And Imam says, sure. Imam Ali alayhi salam says a few tips that I will mention some of them. First, Imam says that if you are not hungry, do not approach the table. Okay? That's a very important point that we need lots of lectures to talk just about this one part of the hadith. If you do not have appetite, do not approach the sufra or the table. Once you have the appetite, then you start. Number one. Number two, when you are hungry, that's the time that you eat. Is there any difference between these two sentences? Because if you do not have appetite, don't start. And when you have appetite, that's the time you have. These two are different things. They have different formulas. Anyway, this is the second part that Imam says that when you have appetite, go on it. Number two. Number three, Imam says that when you start your food, make sure you start your food with a pinch of sea salt. Salt. Question. The conventional medicine and doctors, they say if you have salt and if you have too much salt, you'll get lots of problems. You'll get blood pressure, you'll get vision problem, you'll get a thyroid problem. So doctors recommend do not consume too much salt. Okay? But when you go to the hadith, the Holy Prophet ﷺ, he says that consuming sea salt, anyway, it says consuming salt is the treatment for 70 diseases. So we will be confused. Which one is correct? Should we follow this way or follow that way? Here is where it comes. What type of salt the Holy Prophet says that we consume? Sea salt or iodized salt? That's the thing. So obviously, if we have the sea salt, we will not get all those side effects. Anyway, we go back to the other things. Tonight, I just want to talk about certain things and certain misconceptions and misunderstandings in media that we hear, and they have contradictions with our Islamic teachings. One of them was salt that I explained. Number two is about the sugar. Well, you must have heard that all in media, all doctors, everyone, they say, don't have sugar, you will have diabetes. Don't have sugar, you will have constipation. Don't have sugar, you will have these problems. Okay, But when we go to a hadith of Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam, Imam al-Qasim alayhi salam says that there are two things that if you consume them, they have no side effect and they are excellent for the body. One, pomegranate. Two, sugar. So how should we get the answer? Is this correct or that is correct? Who is saying the truth? When we go deep into the hadith, Imam says that we approve the sugar which is coming from the brown sugar. In Indians they call it jaggery. In some other countries they refine it and they turn it into brown sugar. But the important thing is that the source is brown sugar is the sugar cane. While the white sugar, which is common everywhere in the world, they make the cakes, they make all the junk foods, cakes, and all these foods, processed foods, they use white sugar. And the root of the white sugar is beetroot. And beetroot is absolutely not recommended in Islamic teaching. Some places, like Imam al-Rida says that do not consume beetroot, but you consume the leaves of the beetroot, because the beetroot will increase your sauda, will increase lots of problems in the body. Okay? So the sugar that we're supposed to take is brown sugar. Wait, what about the diabetes then? Yes, one of the medicines that we give for diabetes, type 1, type 2, we give brown sugar, jaggery. Exactly. And because that has a warm temperament and the white sugar has a cold temperament, this brown sugar will do treatments, especially in the pancreas, and make the pancreas to release the insulin that we need. And it regulates the pancreas. So brown sugar is the second thing. And the third thing is the oil. In so many cultures, in different countries, fried food is a must. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, you will see lots of fried foods. And Indian dishes, you will see chapati. In African dishes, you will see chapati as well. Chips in Western countries. So fried foods is a must in every single diet and every single dish in most of the cultures. Let's come back to the life of Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam. Do we have fried foods? Do they recommend we have fried foods? Well, what we see in the recipes and the diet instructions by Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam, there is hardly any fried foods, except one or two recipes by Imam Sadiq alayhi salam. Most of the foods in Islamic teachings, we are supposed to have it grilled. Grilled with charcoal is the best, if not the gas cooker, whatever it is. So we are told to do grilling, we do baking, we do steaming, we do boiling, but frying, there's hardly any recipe. And if we are told to use fried foods, such as this prescription of Imam Sadiq alayhi salam, today I will share with you with that. I will share this with you and hope you will use it, inshallah. This is a prescription of Imam Sadiq alayhi salam for those that they have infertility or they have weak fertility issues. They have weak fertility system. And that is what Imam alayhi salam says that you should fry 2 local eggs, proper eggs, and or let's say organic eggs with the olive oil and chopped white onion, and that's it. So olive oil, proper organic eggs, chopped onions, and in some cultures we add dates as well, chopped dates as well. That's excellent food for those that they want to conceive and they want to improve their reproductive system. Otherwise, try to make your foods less fried and follow this method, inshallah. In the other nights, we will talk more about this diet, and once we finish with the diets, inshallah, we'll read more hadith, beautiful hadith of Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam, about the benefits of different foods, about the celery, about certain fruits, and then we will see how deep and how detailed we have this beautiful resource in Islamic teaching, inshallah. Thank you so much. We'll see you in the next session, inshallah. Khuda Hafiz.